Hello, hello, and welcome to this live stream. So if you are an English learner and you have any questions about English, you want to know how to pronounce something, or you want to know if you've said something correctly, feel free to ask in the comments. Of course, as always, my YouTube has priority. So if there's comments on YouTube, um, I may not see the TikTok comments. So if you want priority, go to YouTube, but I don't always have comments in YouTube on YouTube. So I will come and see you once in a while, TikTok. So you can see on the title, 696 hours out of 4,000. What does that mean? I just want to celebrate before I answer any questions. So this means that you guys, my YouTube followers, have watched 696 hours of my YouTube videos. So thank you. We're going to try to get it to 4,000, but it may or may not happen. So that's okay. As I mentioned to my TikTok, I'll be starting a free one-on-one English session with a follower in 4 minutes. So I'll be talking with this person for about 10 minutes, give feedback for like 2 to 5 minutes, and you guys can listen and maybe learn from them. And yeah, if you guys ever want to do that with me, you should be on my email list. I saw Andres say that I speak very fast, and I'm really sorry. All right, so um, feel free to ask me questions about Canada or English. And привет, як справи? Добре, а ты? That's nice to see you, Lados. All right, so I'm going to see if we have any questions for 2 minutes, because we have 2 minutes. So Ruinier says, how do you improve your writing and vocabulary in English? Honestly, practice and reading. Reading helps with a lot of aspects of language learning. When you read in English, you'll constantly be exposed to correct English, correct spelling. You'll see words that you do not understand, and you'll learn as you go. So the more input, the more exposure you get to English, the better you're going to become in terms of understanding, knowing vocabulary, improving your writing, and so on. How do you keep up with the grammar? I personally kind of hate grammar. I am an English speaker, but I will tell you a secret. My mom and dad never read me grammar books to sleep. So I know that is the traditional approach of learning a language, is to study grammar, but for me, I'm not a big fan of it. You learn what sounds right and you get corrected when it's incorrect. All right, so I got a question. Ooh, it's a really good question. So I have a question on YouTube. And I was asked about this word. So, I have to flip you on TikTok because you are not seeing what you should see. All right. Is it pronounced all right? Um, I would say not really. um, maybe you might not always pronounce the L very distinctly. So, all right. So it could be like, all right, sort of. But you will also hear, all right. So here it is, all right. So I would generally say all right or all right. Well, all right even sounds kind of funny, but that's a good question. It's all right. You almost don't hear the L, but I do pronounce that. I'm going to just open the window because I don't know if you can see. It's super hot in here. I'm dying. Hoping I'm still here. Okay. Now, what time is it? It is time for me to meet with a follower and practice some English. So you guys get to sit in on this. So nervous. Always nervous when I do this. That last time I said I was going to get a really good eraser. So I'm waiting for a follower. He booked an appointment to practice his English with me, and yeah, you'll be able to watch it. It's going to be recorded. I should put you closer. I'm hoping you can hear that on there. Let me know on YouTube if you can hear the conversation and this person speaking.
Hello,
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm doing good. How do we pronounce your name? Is it Kais?
Yeah, thanks. Exactly.
Oh, that's really cool. So we are going to speak for our 10 minutes. And then at the end, I will give you feedback. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay. But can I say something, please? So I'm really advanced in English. So I was watching TikTok for you, and I noticed that a couple of times you mentioned like Arabic speakers, they do this wrong, they pronounce this wrong, they have difficulty with this sound. So I'm wondering, do you offer accent reduction lessons?
Ooh, that's a really good question. So I do make videos on YouTube to help with accent reduction and to I guess to mimic or to parrot me. Um, right now, I currently don't give one-on-one classes, like paid classes, but I did in the past, and I probably will restart maybe in June.
Okay, so in June, because this is what I'm really interested in, because I live in Virginia in the U.S. and I've been here living for 2 years. So I'm more interested in accent reduction and in other, because I'm already advanced in the language. I have a master from the U.S. and everything. So if you want me to go back to your website in June and check again, no problem. But do you have an idea how much you charge for this? Because here in the US, if you want to get a speech pathologist, they are really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I usually charge, well, it depends on the season. If I do not have a job in June, I will most likely charge only $40 American for 50 minutes, so about an hour.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That works for me.
Yeah.
Because here they charge like $200 an hour. It's crazy, I think, because they have license and something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and the speech pathologist or speech therapist, it's kind of a little bit different, but yeah, it's expensive. $200 American per hour is a lot.
No, you can help if you are familiar with the sounds like Arabic speakers usually have difficulty in. I'm sure you can help. You can help me with this.
Yeah, we could definitely in June, so I'm talking to everyone else. In June, I will send an email if I start giving lessons. So if you check your emails and you're on my email list, which I think you are if you signed up, I will let people know if I start giving lessons again.
Okay, that's great. That's great. That's what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah. But in the meantime, are there any words or sounds that you struggle with?
You know, I struggle. Yeah, I struggle with maybe 10 or something sounds, because I got a review like a year ago from another accent reduction trainer here in the US, and they mentioned the flat T. You know, here in the US, how the T between the vowels they become D. Sometimes I don't get that right. The dark L sometimes, you know. uh, people here understand me. I have never been, like someone said, "Excuse me, what did you say?" Never happened to me. But personally, I want to reduce my accent as much as I can.
Mm, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and like sometimes, oh, yeah.
yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
I don't know if it's always possible to 100% eliminate it, but yeah, it's a good goal to. I know I like to reduce my accent in other languages, so that's really cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It doesn't have to be elimination. No, it cannot be eliminated. It would be difficult. But reducing it as much as possible, I think that's great for me.
Okay.
Yes. By the way, I lived in Montreal for 6 months.
You?
You are in? Yeah.
For me, no, I'm not in Montreal. No.
Okay. Because you mentioned something about Quebec, right?
Yeah, so I currently live in the province of Quebec. But I don't say where exactly, but I live in the province of Quebec, and yes, Montreal is a city in Quebec.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I did French there, like in 2010, for 1 year, and then I moved. It was a great course, but that French was difficult for me. I don't know. It was really different.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, the Quebec accent
Yes.
is definitely different. Did you study at, if it's not too personal, which university did you study at?
Here in the U.S., the master degree was in California. There's a place called Middlebury Institute of International Studies. It's in Monterey, California. It's a small city close to San Francisco. So I did international policy studies with emphasis in conflict resolution and international negotiations.
Okay. Cool. And then in Montreal, where did you study in Montreal?
Well, in Montreal, I studied at, there's a place called Platon College. It's for French courses.
Mm.
I did 9, I think. I lived with a French family in Montreal. My French has improved a lot ever since, but I'm not used to the Quebecois accent. That's why it's easier French, Paris, and France than to the Quebecois. They speak fast. So, I cannot understand everything as in French.
Yeah. Even sometimes when people come from France, they will come here in the first week. They're like, "What? I don't understand." That's funny. Oh.
So in this case, check back with you again in I don't know, in June, or you will send email if you are offering.
Yes, I will send. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll
Okay,
send.
that would be great.
Yeah, I'll send an email if I start again. But I think some of my followers know I'm pregnant, so I don't know how much I can continue. But I'll let you guys know. I'll let you know. I'll send the email out when and if I restart, which I think is in June. It might happen. That sound good?
That's perfect. Yes.
Perfect. So we have about like two. Pardon?
Do you have any questions for me?
I'd like to know, if it's not too personal, where are you from? Which country?
I'm originally from Yemen, but I was born and raised in Saudi Arabia. So I lived all my life, and my wife too, in Saudi Arabia. Then we moved here to the US 2 years ago.
Okay.
Like we are card holders, so we are resident here now.
Okay. That's
yeah.
cool.
But of my life is in Saudi Arabia, like 35 years of my life in Saudi Arabia.
Oh wow. What would you say is the biggest like cultural shock when you came to live in the United States from Saudi Arabia?
Actually, the culture shock happened to me in 2007 when I started my graduate program. So by 2009, I had already lived in the US 2 years. But the cultural shock probably is one I remember is because we call, when we talk to elderly people, we usually say Mister. we never call them by first name, for example. And I would make this mistake a lot with the college professors. And uh, in the first 3 months, I could not say it without saying Mister. So they usually say, "Don't call us Mister, just call me by my first name." Don't. But the first 3 months, then I discover it's really easy and there's nothing attached to disrespect. Because in the Arabic culture, it's really offensive when you call someone he's elderly and you never use like a respect title or something. So this one I remember very well. And the life itself, it was, the Americans and the Canadians too. They live a very easy life. They are very friendly with people and learners of English and students in general. So I think the formality was the most shocking for me. I did not about it. I read about other things, but this one I did not read about. So when I faced it, it was I couldn't do it. But then now I usually it's okay for me. I call people by first name, and no offense is taken. It's easy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think a lot of people from outside of Canada, when they come, it's like a shock. They're like, I can call you by your first name. It's like, yeah. Yeah. All right. So we've done actually just over 10 minutes. The time went by fast. So I think you see correctly. I'm just gonna double check on my. There we go.
Yeah, I do.
Good. I'm going to write down some mistakes I heard, and then see if you can see where the English mistake is. You may or may not know, but the more you practice, like if you were to see me again, the easier it is, and you'll start self-correcting. So I'm just going to write it down. Okay. So I heard you say this in the beginning. You said, I've been here living for 2 years.
Oh yeah, I've been here for 2 years.
Yeah, I've been living here for 2 years. Yeah, exactly. So I've been living here for 2 years. Good. Next, do you want me to write it out all the time?
No, it's okay. You can tell me. You can say it to me.
Okay. Some of them I'll write down. Some of them I'll say. You told me that. You said, I have a master degree in the USA. I have a master degree. There's one little sound that we're missing.
Okay, so what's the mistake?
I would say master's degree. Yeah, with an S. I'm just gonna double check. Maybe I'm just used to saying that, but a master's degree, yeah.
Yeah, you need to process it.
Because we say like bachelor's degree, master's degree. Then you had talked about how you speak to people in the United States, and you said that nobody asked you to repeat. And you said, it never happened to me. It never happened to me.
Yeah. Oh, it never. All right. It should be ED. Yeah.
Yeah, so it never happened to me. Or if you were talking in the present, you could say it never happened to me, but you were talking in the past. Yeah, so it never happened to me. Good. And you're really good in English. I had to work really hard to try and find mistakes. That's really
good at catching
I practice a lot. And then you asked me, we'll send about the lessons. You asked me, you will send email.
Oh, yeah. We will send an email.
Yeah, an email. Yeah. So for those watching and listening to the replay, you can say, will you send an email? But you are verifying, and that's fine. You will send an email. Okay? And I think that's pretty much it. Good job, Kais. Do you have any questions or challenges that you have? Right, I'm not speaking correctly. Do you have any challenges or questions about being an immigrant in the United States? I make videos to help immigrants.
Oh yeah, the most challenging thing for immigrants in the U.S. is probably paying taxes.
Oh, I know. it's in Canada too. Paying taxes. Yeah.
Yeah, if you make for 100K a year, you will pay a lot of taxes.
Yeah. How much is it in the United States? Do you know? Is it like 30%? Up to?
Almost, yes.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's fine. Yeah. All right, so we are done. I think I have one starting right away or in 15 minutes. So I want to say thank you so much, Kais. Thank you for coming, and I will let you know by email when and if I start lessons. And I will still continue giving like 10-minute free lessons. So keep your eyes open for emails. Sounds good?
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
All right, take care. Shukran.
Bye.
All right, so you guys heard? Now I am back with you guys. Oh, my next lesson is actually 10:50. Okay, so I have a little bit of time for you guys. I'm going to check YouTube. Remember, YouTube has priority for answering questions. And then I'll answer some TikTok questions. All right. All right. And looking at your question, Vlados, again. All right. Yes, I think maybe in England, people might say, all right. Yeah, that sounds better with English, an English accent. So, do you speak casually or do you deliberately enunciate the words for us to understand what you're saying? So, am I speaking normally? That is a good question. So, I have a tendency to speak fast. I know TikTok tells me that a lot. Right now, I am slowing down and trying to really like enunciate. But I'm not too slow because my YouTube channel, my TikTok, and Facebook is more for people with an intermediate and advanced level. So I don't slow down too much. Does that make sense? I think I'm close to normal. Oh yeah, and that was the question. Oops, I forgot to click it when I was answering it. All right, next question. Where do we learn English? Says Friendy Emmanuel. So if you watch my YouTube videos, I have so many videos that you can watch to help you improve and learn English. I've even classified them into different playlists. I'm putting it at the bottom of the screen right here. So I have playlists on English learning tips, improving your pronunciation if you want to listen to pronunciation videos. I have English mistake videos. So I will say an English mistake, give you 3 seconds to guess what it is. So this will help you see if you make a mistake and then reinforce your English. So I'm hoping that helps. I also give lessons. Well, I did give lessons and I might start again in June, but we'll see. So Vlado says, how's, I sorry, I can't speak. How's the weather in your area now? It is nice. I think it's nice. It's really gloomy and gray and cloudy, but I like it. It was raining earlier today, and I don't know if you can hear, but I have the window open and there are a lot of birds. A lot of birds. I said birds. Birds. All right. Hello, Diane. Thank you for the gift. Hi, happy Friday. I'm going up some of the questions. If you have questions on TikTok, let me know. And I'm also going to set my alarm on my Computer. Alarm at 11:45 because I did not miss this meeting. There we go. There we go. All right. I know it's not an English question, but I want to know. I think I have to go up to see. What's your, was that Jared? No, it's for Rose. I have to look. Hello, Turan. Can you please talk about college and university paths in general? Yes. In Canada? Is that what you're talking about? So I'm making more and more videos on like Canada, being an immigrant in Canada, tips and tricks for newcomers. So usually in Canada, at least in the English part of Canada, we have elementary school, grade 1 to grade 6, or grade 1 to grade 8, sorry. Then we have high school, which is grade 9 to grade 12. Then after that, you can decide to go to a technical college. So maybe you want to become like a welder, a plumber, or something else that takes a technical degree. Or you can go to university. And then university, we have the bachelor's degree, the master's, and then I think it's the doctor's PhD in English. And then if you look at Quebec, Quebec's a little different. So we have elementary school is grade 1 to 6. And then we have 5 years of secondary school, which goes up to technically grade 11. Then they have CEGEP, which is like pre-university or technical school. And then they have university, which could be a bachelor's, master's, PhD. So it depends on where you study. And my rate per one-on-one lesson, if I have no job and I have a lot of time, I usually charge $40 American per 50 minutes, so 50 minutes, so almost an hour. When I don't have time or when I'm working, I usually charge like 50-ish USD per hour. But this is something that can change in the future, depending on different needs. So thank you for following Aiden. Thank you for following M. Hi, Sunshine. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Ooh, I'm getting questions. So the weather here in St. Petersburg is very volatile, but today's weather is magnificent, which is fairly unusual. Oh, good question. So how do you pronounce volatile? Is it volatile? Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna double check because sometimes there's variations of how to pronounce words that I have my way of saying it. But I want to see if there's actually other ways that I could say are acceptable. I say volatile. That's what Google's saying. Volatile. Yeah, I've never heard volatile. Volatile. Yeah, volatile. So I'm going to actually put that up here. And that was really fast with Kais, the last gentleman I was talking to. It felt like I talked to her for like a minute. It's like 10 minutes. So the question was, how do you pronounce this word? I always have to read it. Volatile. Volatile. And it's not tail, because I see tail. It's tile, like the eye is like a long eye. I like the trick I've talked about before. If there's like one consonant and then there's a vowel with E, say, hey, what's your name? I, volatile. So, all right. Hello, Jess. I'm from South Vietnam. Welcome, welcome, welcome. That's really cool. I love seeing where everyone is from. I just learned English and I also plan to go to Canada to work as a welder. Wow. Does your welding training transfer to Canada? I'd be curious because I don't have my map. I need to get my map close to me for my next life. But there's the English part of Canada, and then we have Quebec. And the school system in Quebec is different. So what I worked in when I was in English Canada, when I came to Quebec, my training and stuff was invalid. So that's something to look into. But welding is a really good. It pays a lot. And check out my upcoming videos because I will be sharing with you a lot of tips and advice that I have for new immigrants in Canada. That's cool. That's exciting. Mhm. I have issues. And instead of saying I have issue, I have issues with my comprehension slash pronunciation. Any suggestions? Um, for comprehension, I would say get more input. Listen to English all the time. Can you switch your phone to English? Can you surround yourself by English as much as you can? You're watching TV, if you're listening to the radio, even if you're watching a film in your own language, even just having little subtitles in English just to constantly be seeing it, that will help with your comprehension. Yeah, like it would definitely help you to see it more, understand it, see it in context. For pronunciation, practice, practice with an English speaker. I really think there are benefits of having native English teachers, but I think there's benefits of having people who don't speak English as a first language as a teacher. So there are benefits, but when it comes to speaking, I would say really, really try to get a native English speaker that you can repeat after. In my playlist, I have a lot of videos. I can show you it actually. Um, so YouTube, if you go down to the description, you'll be able to see that I linked this playlist that I'll show you right here. So if you look up Learn English with Jess, and then you go to playlist, and you go to speak like an American or Canadian English speaker. I have a bunch of videos, 16 right now, where you can listen to and repeat after me. Repeating after native speakers will really help you to improve and practice pronunciation. Yo soy Santiago. I see your question. I'm going to answer question here on YouTube first. Vlado says, how do you pronounce? Do you say the long O sound, first of all? Do you say it? Do you say it? Ooh, that's a really good question. Okay, so I'm going to write it down before I say it out loud. You're asking me questions I don't really think about. Okay. Got a YouTube question because remember YouTube has priority. So how to pronounce this word? I would say O, romantic. So romantic. Schwa. Romantic. But sometimes I've heard and I've said romantic, like without the O, romantic. So you might hear that in a sentence like romantic, but romantic is how it's pronounced. I think that helps. So romantic or romantic. The Vietnamese community in Toronto is quite large. I have a few Vietnamese friends. Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. It's nice to have connections before you come to a country. And Toronto, okay, it's English Canada. It's a little expensive there, though. Well, it's really expensive in Toronto, but that's really cool to weld there. Vietnamese don't like Chinese. I'm just gonna go to the next. Have you ever heard? Nope, I've never heard that word. So I'm gonna take that down. I've never heard it in my life. So Yo Soy Santiago says, hello, I'm 35 years old. Do you think that it's a good idea to immigrate to Canada from Mexico at this age? Um, I don't think age is like it's a I don't know if like you're not old, like I wouldn't say, oh, 35 is too old. I would say watch my videos. I have a video on things to consider if you come to Canada. There's some places that are really expensive to live, some places that are not expensive. There are different like climates depending on where you go. Watch my video on things to consider if you are thinking about coming to Canada. Um, I'll be honest that I don't know what it's like in Mexico, but I feel like in Canada it's getting like harder to survive and to work and to make money. um, so check it out. I don't think 35 is too old. I think it'd be good. I don't know if you have any education, but it's good to have education that can be transferred to um, Canada. And you're very welcome for the university answer. How do you teach without a specific language to appropriate? What do you mean? I'm curious what you mean by that. Um, all right, and then he says applying for a Canadian visa from Vietnam is very difficult. I hope I can become a compatriot. Yes, I hope so. That's awesome. So Vlados asks, do you speak Latin? No, I don't. No. But if I see Latin, I can understand it. I think, in my opinion, because I do speak Spanish and French. All right. The J sound is so difficult. The word juice is the word juice. I say 100 times, is still wrong. I'm going to show you. If you go to my YouTube channel, which you already are on that, and you can show you like this. Yeah. You go to my YouTube channel, and there's like playlists. Okay, you click playlist. No, sorry, not playlist. Forget that. Videos, and you go down. Go down to. I know it's not Spanish that you speak, but there's the one right there with the Mexican flag. It says English pronunciation tips for Spanish speakers. I go over the J sound, the J and the CH sound. Check it out. I think it would help a lot, especially if you already know how to make the CH sound. Yeah. What about someone who has, okay, third person singular, somebody who has a PhD in political science, can he get a convenient job easily? It's hard. It's really hard to say. Um, I think you guys know this, but I was jobless for like 8 months. 8 months last year. I was trying to look for a job. I speak English, French, Spanish. I have a university degree. um, so even for Canadians, I know there are a lot of Canadians that are finding it hard to get jobs and get work, and even if they are working to pay their bills. So user says, please enter me to your video. I do not accept requests on TikTok, but if you want to practice your English, so like 10 minutes, you can get 5-minute feedback, 5 minutes of feedback. Oh, I don't even know what that is, but thank you. 5 minutes. I had a heart on my head on TikTok. If you sign up to my email list, once in a while, I do offer free lessons that people can sign up for. So. Mm. Lados, you're asking really good questions. Mm. I'm going to put it in the comments after. But Lados, I talked about this my last live. I'm not sure if you were there. I did not see you there. But how do you pronounce the word think? I don't. I heard people don't really say. They say t. Mm, no. Oh, as long as their tongue is between their teeth, they're sort of like touching. Um, it might sound like a T for you because you're Slavic. So um, remember TH, you have your tongue between your teeth. With the T, there's no tongue between your teeth. So the T. A lot of my students that speak French as a first language in Canada, they'll say take instead of think. But it really should be think. It's not always dramatic, like think. I do teach it like that because when you're learning, it's helpful. Sometimes it's I think like it's really like a little tap on the lips, not the lips, the tongue on the teeth. Because you are Slavic, so I'm guessing you may have had the tendency or have the tendency to say think. I think instead of I think. Um, I have a whole playlist. You go to my YouTube channel, click playlist, and then click TH pronunciation. I have a whole playlist on TH, the pronunciation of TH, how it's not pronounced, how it is. So then you can compare it and say like the right sound, the wrong sound, and to help your mouth familiarize with what it looks like or what it feels like to make the sounds. Check it out. I made it just for English learners that are wanting to improve TH pronunciation. Do you think, so dost thou reckon, do you think I'm advanced based on my questions? Based on your grammar questions, I think so. Because you know probably more than I do with grammar. I probably shouldn't say that out loud, but you probably know more about grammar than I do because you've studied it intensively. I can see it. And yeah, you're very welcome. Yeah, check out my YouTube videos. Can you ping your YouTube channel? I don't know how to ping it. I've never done that. I'm gonna see if I can ping it. I've never heard of ping it. What? Um, I'm gonna try. Try to ping it. Okay. Learn English with Jess. I I didn't know it was possible. You're really good at English, though. You could say that. I would have never thought of ping or pin it, but ping. I think that might be perfect. Okay, so I'm guessing if I go interact, no. Um, you could write it in the comments, and there's a ping button. Okay. Um, okay, I couldn't comment. That was the thing too. My channel. Thank you. You're so smart, Theros. My channel, and I'm gonna put a little like, and there we go. I should bring you there, and I'm going to pin. Okay, it is pinned. PIN. I think it's pinned. Should be pinned. Pin this comment. Damn, that was really bad. I had it pinned and then it stopped. Okay, pin this comment. It says couldn't pin the comment. You can try again. I don't know what it's wanting me to do. I did pin it once and then I accidentally unpinned it. Pin this comment. I'm sorry, I tried like a bunch of times. It's not working, but I put it in the chat. But it's learn space English. All right, learn space English space with space Jessie. Learn English with Jessie. No, actually, I've known you for several years from TikTok. Oh, that's really fun that you found me on TikTok. To Instagram, to YouTube, I followed you, but because of family and housework, I've started learning English again. Ah, I'll find your videos. Yeah, that's awesome. You're very welcome. The TH, the F and the V sounds. Yes. You know what time it is? Oh, there we go. That means in 5 minutes, I have a meeting with Ladilson. It's a follower and an English learner, I'm assuming. And he or she, I think it's a he, going to practice English with me. If you guys ever want to do that with me, you could sign up when I announce it on my email or in my emails. All right. Yes, the TH playlist is going to be really helpful for you. Good question. Vlados, I'm Canadian. Remember this. Vlado says, do you call Coca-Cola, so like the drink Coca-Cola, pop, soda, Coke, or cola? We Canadians will say pop. So I will say, can I have a pop? And I think Americans say soda. So I say pop, Americans say soda. And I also say Coke. But be careful. You ask people for Coke, they might think you want cocaine. Depends on the context, okay? If you're walking down an alley and asking people for Coke, they're not going to think Coca-Cola. But in Canada, we say pop or Coke. Pop or Coke or Coca-Cola. Bye. And where do you teach out of? Or where do you teach out? Where do you teaches out English? So where do I teach English? I teach it on my YouTube channel, TikTok. I used to do one-on-one English lessons. I will probably start one day. And I'm from Canada, if that's the question. So thank you, Dr. Amar, following a lot. Thank you for following. How much do you take? Of what? How much does it cost? I'll wait for the answer. Hello, teacher. Thank you. My accent is clear. I'm glad you like it. But yeah, if you're asking how much I charge for a lesson, it is usually, if I'm not working and I'm looking for more students, it's $40 American per 50 minutes. 50, 50. So for almost an hour. Anna, thank you for following. Hello, good to see you again. Hello, Mo. So I have 3 more minutes before I have the next lesson or the next conversation. I had a question from Vlados, and that is, what does the word hindsight mean? So hindsight, H-I-N-D-S-I-G-H-T. There's an expression that we say, hindsight is 2020. So 2020 is when you have perfect vision. So sometimes, let's say you're in a relationship that's toxic or not good, a romantic relationship. You don't see that it's bad, but you're like, oh, I don't know, it doesn't feel right. Let's say you left them and you weren't sure if it's a good idea to leave them, to break up with them. But later, looking back, hindsight is 2020. You saw that you made a good choice. And I looked it up, the actual definition, and that's what it is. So hindsight is the understanding of a situation or event only after it has happened or developed. So we may not understand a situation while we're in it, but after we do. That makes sense. Hello, I want to learn how to speak English. You're in a great place. So here on my TikTok and my YouTube. Do I have a class? I don't have an official class, but I have a lot of classes or lessons on YouTube. So learn English with Jess. You can definitely check out my stuff. So anytime my partner, conversation partner might be coming. So I will leave, like I'll be with you guys, but I won't look at you guys. But feel free to ask questions for the next 30 seconds, I guess. And if you are an immigrant that's learning English in Canada or the United States, please let me know. Please let me know what you find challenging, any questions you have or had, because I do make videos to help immigrants adapt to Canadian. I have a question. I have a suggestion for you. You know, people have been following you on different social media platforms. Yeah. It would be better if your channel names are the same in all platforms. Yes, they are the same in all platforms except Instagram. I think so. Is that what you see? Is that what you see on my it should say that, learn English with Jess. Like my handle is learn English with Jess. It's a good suggestion, but I thought they were all the same, except for Instagram. This is Jessie. This is my channel name on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. And then on Instagram, it's IE at the end. Because it was unavailable. So I was supposed to start a lesson at 11:50. It's 11:51. If my person does not show up in 4 minutes, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave their lesson and then just focus on you guys. So I'm gonna try to answer a question. So Lidelson, if you're watching, I am on Zoom. So if you click the link in your email, you'll be able to meet me and we can have a 10-minute English conversation. I don't know. Sometimes people might find it difficult to find me. All right. Vlado says I was a junkie. Okay. All right. I'm gonna look this up. I mean, I know what I understand it to mean. I'm gonna see if there's any other meaning. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing to admit, but sometimes people might joke. So we're talking about this word right here. It's not something you brag about. So this is a drug addict or someone who's addicted to something. Let me see if there's any slang, but yeah, a person addicted to drugs usually. But sometimes people can joke about it, and like if they're addicted to chocolate, they might say like, I'm a chocolate junkie." So it can be used in like a more lighter. Okay, so I'm currently having a conversation. Lidelson, I don't think you can hear me because you're probably. Oh, your mic's off. Here, yeah, there we go.
You hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. How about you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk for 10 minutes, and then the last 5 minutes I'll give some feedback. So I'm excited to hear a little bit about you. So tell me about yourself. Where are you from, and what is your first language?
Okay. I'm from Brazil. My name is Ledilson, but you can call me Led. It's easier. And what else you will ask it for me? Where I'm from, my name, and
Your first language, that would be Portuguese, hey?
yes, yeah, Brazilian Portuguese, yeah.
Okay, cool. I like that. And how long have you been learning English?
For a long time already, because I started high school, and now I'm just making some classes with a teacher. I was doing some classes because my teacher is pregnant, so she stopped. Then now I'm doing no classes,
Okay.
just with TikTok and Instagram and
My channel.
other things.
Okay, that's cool.
It's insane I'm talk with you because I just watch your videos in TikTok, so it's it's crazy.
That's good. It's funny. I'm glad you're here. Is there anything that you would like to talk about in particular?
Uh, well, I'm trying to improve my English for trying to find jobs uh, abroad, like in USA, Europe, Canada. So I'm trying to improve even more my English. I improve it already a little bit, but of course we can always do better. So yeah.
That's cool. Do you know which country you would like to go to if you had your first choice?
I think maybe USA or some in Europe, like Portugal, Spain. I think.
Well, Portugal, because then they speak Portuguese.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it would be easier for me. But yeah, as I told, I'm searching for improving more my English.
Cool. And do you speak Spanish as well?
um, a little bit
Okay.
because I can understand many of the things, and but sometimes it's hard for me to speak in Spanish
Mhm.
because it's very similar to Portuguese. So it's good for me for understanding.
Mhm. I agree. I used to work in like a very touristic place in my last city, and there was a lady that came from Brazil, and she
Uh-huh.
and she was speaking to me because she's like looking for like a waterproof jacket, and I'm like, I understand her, but I'm like, so I spoke to her in Spanish because I was like, she's not speaking
Uh-huh.
Spanish, but like I understand her. So then she responded in
Uh-huh.
Portuguese. I spoke in Spanish, and then after I was like, how come we understand each other, but I know you're not speaking Spanish? And she's like,
Uh-huh.
Brazilian Portuguese. Yeah,
It's very similar for sure.
yeah, it is very similar. What would you say is your biggest challenges when learning a language or when learning English?
Sometimes understanding um, other people, like for example, how can I say? Some Indians, for example, they say in English, but with accent. So sometimes it's hard for understanding them. And of course, in other, for example, other countries too, people that aren't not native to English, it's sometimes hard for understanding them. And of course, sometimes it's hard for understanding native uh, people that talks in English too. But just sometimes, I think it's better for me understanding people that is native than that don't is native.
People who are native and people who aren't native. Yeah.
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 Uh-huh.
Cool. Oh, that's really cool. Um, it is hard when like you speak to someone in English and they have an accent, and if English is not your first language, it's hard. Yeah, it is hard.
Yeah, yeah.
If
And I need to always to say, I'm sorry, can you say again? So 2, 3, 4 times, and they keep asking, and I can't understand what I say. So I need to ask to type down for understand what they are asking.
Mhm. And when you talk to people, like you said, you talk to people from India, is it in call centers?
Yeah, because it's IT area, so it's many people from India there. So many times we talk with them.
Yeah, no, it's like that in Canada too. Like a lot of our IT staff are like from India, like from different organizations that I work in.
Uh,
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I
see that.
watched many videos from Canada with people from India that is from IT area that's living there. So it's many people from India.
Yeah, it's a popular thing to study,
Yeah,
I think, in India.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Currently, I'm working from Brazil for a company in Brazil, but my goal is to find a company abroad, like I told USA, Canada, and Europe.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I would say Canada is better than the United States. That's just my opinion. If you're like United States or Canada, I like Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, okay, I have a question for you because I like getting feedback on what people want to see more of on YouTube. What kind of video or subject would you like me to do a video on regarding English or moving to Canada and living to Canada? What would be a question you would like me to answer?
You want to know what is better for me? What's if it's video or moving to Canada? I think I did not get better. Well, the question.
Sorry?
I did not get well what you asked. Can you say again? In
Yeah.
other words, maybe.
So I make videos on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking for ideas. What is an idea, or like, yeah, what do you think is a good idea for a video? Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you're like, "Ooh, I want to know this, can you make a video?" What would be the question? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see. An idea for a video, I think.
Yeah, or something that
Okay.
you want to learn.
Maybe conversations with me, like in different areas, like IT services and things like that. For example, maybe conversations in, like, let's say, on our daily tasks, for example, IT services, and I think that's it. Conversations, how to speak, something. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, I wrote that down. So thank you. Obrigada, Led. I know how to say thank you.
De nada.
So I'm gonna start. It's been 10 minutes. I'm gonna start the feedback. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna start with pronunciation. I'm also going to repost this on my YouTube. So if you want to hear the feedback again, it is recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I have it. So pronunciation, you said this word. Can you see it?
Abroad. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I thought I heard abroad, but it's abroad. Can you repeat abroad?
Abroad. Abroad. Okay.
Good. Next, for most English speakers, like everyone, English speakers, English learners, when we make mistakes, we will repeat the same mistakes over and over. So sometimes what I'm about to say to you now, if you correct it, you eliminate so many pronunciation mistakes. So I'm going to write 3 words. This happened more than 3 times, but once you see the trend, you'll be able to.
Sometimes we don't not see that we say again and again the same.
Oh, we always do. Yeah, we always do say the same things over and over. So I heard you say asked, and it's not asked. It's so asked. Can you say that?
Asked. Asked.
Yeah, and then it's not it. It's so stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Again?
Okay, stop.
Stopped.
Stop it.
Stopped.
Stop it.
No,
Stopped.
I hear stop it. Stopped.
Stop it. Stop.
Yeah, so stopped. So if you practice like put, stopped.
It's stopped.
Yeah, like
that.
you're beatboxing, yeah. And then same thing with improved. Well, not the same, it's close. It's with a D though. So improved.
Improved.
Yeah, so not improving. Improved, yeah. And I actually did a video. Do you want me to link the video for you?
Every English teachers says about that for Brazilians because of the end on the end of the each word. I don't know if you talked already with a Brazilian, but we will see again this mistake about the pronunciation.
Yeah. And you said, I don't know if you talked.
Talk it. Again.
Good. And I'm actually going to I'm gonna have to see if I can find a video. So I have a whole playlist actually. I think I have your email when you signed up. I'm just gonna
yeah, I got some news in my email.
Can I send you an email with links that are personalized for some of the things?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'll do it later because my computer's not working. So I'll send you the links after for the past tense videos, which will help you. Like I'll say the word and then you have to guess if it's id, de, or t. There. So that one. Next, I'm going to go with English mistakes.
Okay.
So when I asked you, not ask it, asked, when I asked you, when you started learning English, you said, I started, I think you said on high school.
I started on high school.
Yeah, there's a mistake. Do you know where it is?
They started.
No.
Started.
No.
I started at high school.
In. Yeah, so in. So I started in high
school.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna write down another one. I was and you said I was doing some classes.
Yeah.
Where's the mistake?
Is there a mistake?
Yep. In English, we classes.
It's about the classes or about the past, for example.
It's this.
Was doing.
It's this one right here.
I did some classes, maybe.
No.
I was doing.
Okay. In English, we take classes.
We take classes.
Yeah. I was taking some classes, or you could say I took classes if it's like, you know, like if you're saying I was taking classes when my teacher got pregnant, okay? But in general, you could say I took some classes.
Took classes. Yeah. Because in Brazil, we say take is to grab, take something, grab something. And doing for us is was making, was doing. So sometimes I get confused about that.
Yeah, confused. Yeah, and that's okay. It's because not everything directly translates, right? So I speak other languages, I know. Sometimes I'll direct translate. It's like, nope. So we take classes if we are receiving it. We give classes, so I can give classes. But I can make classes if I create them. Like I'm like, I'm preparing.
Yeah. Take some of that. It's okay.
Yeah, so we take classes. I asked where you wanted to go. So you said maybe first you said the United States, then you said Canada, but you said United States or some in Europe. Some in Europe.
Europe. Or some in Europe.
Somewhere in Europe.
Or somewhere. Okay.
Yeah. So or somewhere in Europe.
Somewhere, someplace in Europe.
Yeah, or someplace in Europe, exactly. Something I heard you say maybe 4 or 5 times. Again, like I said, when we make mistakes, it's repetitive. You said, I'm gonna write it down and then I'll say it. Okay. You said it's hard for understanding.
It's hard for understanding. Uh-huh. Is there a mistake too, I think?
Yeah. So in English, we'll say something is hard or easy or fun to
It's hard to understand it.
understand. So
Understand.
yeah,
Mhm.
because it's like an infinitive. So it's hard plus infinitive. So it's
But
hard.
understanding would not be correct because it's present continuous, for example. Present continuous.
Present continuous, but because you're thinking it's understanding. Oh,
It's hard
it's
for
hard.
understanding. To present continuous, maybe, no? I think.
No, it doesn't sound right. I'm trying to think of the grammatical explanation. But in English, we'll say it's hard to do something. It's hard to play hockey. It's fun to talk to friends. So it's adjective to, and then the verb. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
I'm having.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the official explanation for it, but yeah, it's hard to. Whenever you do to, there's no ing. So it's hard to understand.
Hard to understand. Okay. Got it.
You're very welcome. And the last one. Don't panic. Last one.
Okay.
Not
panic.
Not panicking. Can you say again?
Can you say again? Can we repeat again? Can you say again?
Oh yeah. So you say, can you say it again? Or can you repeat?
Say it again? Can we repeat?
Yeah. So can you
say it again?
Yeah. Or.
Can you repeat?
Yeah. And then if you're with friends, you might hear people say, come again? Like, tell me again? What? Come again? But most people don't understand unless they're English. So if someone told me something, I'd be like, come again? Like, what did you say? Good. So do you have any... Pardon?
Really strange. Really strange. And call me again. It's
I know.
strange. The way it's reads.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. But we're all done. Do you have any questions or anything to end?
Well, I see you are making some experience with this in interviews. So on your classes, you can help us to improve conversations and of course to say the right pronunciation about, for example, on my area, it's IT area. So you can make some classes for that area, for example.
Yeah, like
directed by to the IT area, for example. Classes for IT area.
Because you're in IT, right? You're in IT?
Yeah.
I
am a developer.
Okay, a developer, cool. Yeah, for right now, I'm not making classes, preparing classes. But when I do let people like have practice courses like 50 minutes, I sometimes will do a theme. So if they're in business English, we'll work on business English. But if I had a client that was in IT, I would create like conversation around IT related vocabulary situation.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm not doing any courses right now. Maybe in June. Maybe in June I might start again. Is that good?
Okay. So that's it for now. It's perfect.
Good. All right. Take care. And I'll send you the links for some videos that I think you'll find helpful. Is that good?
Okay.
Take care.
Bye-bye then.
All right. So you guys saw that? I hope you can hear that on YouTube and everything. So I'm going to be remaking this on YouTube. So again, if you guys want to check out my different playlists on YouTube, I have a lot. If you are an English learner, I have videos on English pronunciation, common English mistakes, using artificial intelligence. Oh, sorry, artificial intelligence, AI, to improve your English. And then I have lots of other stuff. So check it out. Again, YouTube always has priority, so I'm going to check out what's going on in YouTube, and then I will check check the questions out on TikTok. I hope you guys were able to hear. So, I have a question. Can you say? Can you say toothbrush? So if we say speak is like we speak a language. That makes sense. So I speak English, but I'm saying words. So someone on YouTube who was watching on TikTok asked me how to pronounce this. So remember, I don't think you can hear very well on on live, but I watched the replay and the sounds don't come out that good. But tongue between your teeth. So tooth, brush, toothbrush. I get on. You guys can see me here, maybe. Toothbrush. So if you're watching this again, it's at the 1 hour and 16 minute mark. Vlados asked, have you ever been overseas? Yes, I have. I've been to Cuba. I went twice. Got to practice my Spanish. I went to Italy when I was in high school. Italia. And then I think that's it. Yeah, I've been to the United States. I don't know if that's overseas. Because TH between. I find Canadian and American English to be the same. I think so too. There are slight differences between Canadian and American English, but pronunciation is pretty much the same. All right. Hola, maestra. Muchas gracias. De nada, gracias para estar aquí. And yes, that is Spanish. Tourists. Tourists. You're just not in a really good place here, TikTok. I'm trying to show you. So we have tourists. Tourists. I know, it's so hard. Mohammed says, oh my goodness. I'm just saying goodness. I have been watching you on TikTok. Which sometimes I'm not able to see the mini board, but I see here on YouTube. I can see it completely. I know I'm trying to I have YouTube here, which is my priority because it's being recorded, and I have TikTok, and then I have my Zoom. So I'm trying to show everyone everything. And he says, Vlado says Canadian English is better than American. Lately, Americans have lost their mind. No comment. No comment. Yo hablo español, Anthony, Armini. Yeah, Armini. Good. Vocabulary, please. What kind of vocabulary do you want to learn? If you guys have any questions that immigrants might have living in the United States or Canada, please let me know because I am trying to make videos to help immigrants, English learning immigrants. You're very welcome. Very welcome. Childhood. Do I know how to pronounce it? It was the period in your life when you were a child. So, child, and then the H. If you speak French, you might not pronounce the H, but you want to feel air here. Hood. Childhood. Childhood. Coffee or tea. I like both. I started drinking coffee pretty much when I got married because my husband, well, the question not because my husband drinks coffee and I like to join him. But I do like tea, especially like peppermint. But I'm pregnant, so I can't drink all the teas I want. It's not it's not safe. But what do I want to say? Vlados. check out the TH playlist. I'm going to put it in the comments once I end the video on YouTube. I'm going to put in the comments playlist for TH, playlist for Spanish, because I did mention that a few times. And what other? You guys might want to know. Anyways, it's been a long day. Alrighty. So I'm going to be leaving probably soon, but I'll answer a few questions. Los Angeles or New York? I don't know the difference. I just know it's in the States. Los Angeles. Yeah. Okay, you're Faraz. You're the one that was helping me with it's Mohammed with TikTok, pinning the comment. I just thought, why Jesse does care if oh yeah. Yeah, I'm trying my best. But thank you for helping me, by the way. So I am done. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. So I'm gonna end this live. This on YouTube. I'm gonna end it everywhere. Yeah, I'm gonna end it. So if you are watching the replay and you want to check out pronunciation videos, feel free to click here. And if you want to watch different mistakes that English learners make, feel free to test yourself there. And I'm going to end live. So thank you so much, guys. I hope you guys have a lovely day. And thank you for watching my videos.